I look up to Bud a lot. Honestly, he one of the realest dudes that I done met. He's still a normal person in his head. Like, he don't believe that he's above everyone else. And that's how I feel about myself.
You seen me around a lot. Don't act like you ain't seen me around them days. He said that I do.
Bud, come on. Terence talking, I try not to talk back. I try to just listen.
Straight, boom, straight shot. Like right here, boom, there you go. But you gotta make sure you step. Bam. That's when I'm trying to run out. When I'm trying to run, bop, there you go.
Even if I don't feel the same way that he feeling at the moment, it don't matter. I still want to hear him out and try to understand what he's saying.
If he's here, bop. What do you think he can do? Because you out the way of the right hand.
He like a sponge. He soak up everything that he needs to soak up, put it into his arsenal, and then he make the best out of everything that he learned from everybody.
Then throw it straight left to the bottom.
At the end of the day, you don't want to feel like a know-it-all. And the people that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
Shakur Stevenson is stepping into this camp with a mindset that feels noticeably sharper than before. This isn't being treated like just another belt defense on the calendar. He's deliberately surrounding himself with elite-level competition, and that choice alone signals how seriously he's taking a possible showdown with Teófimo López. There's intent behind every move, and it shows a level of respect that goes beyond talk.
It's a work of art. Sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur with the skills that he possesses and the smarts that he has. And given the opportunity, I think he can pose a great threat to everybody in the division. And be the last man standing given the opportunity.
Inside the ropes, Shakur looks like a finely crafted work of art, and what makes him dangerous is that his growth still feels unfinished. His technical foundation and awareness allow him to dictate almost any scenario he finds himself in. Overcoming someone with that blend of discipline and intelligence is never straightforward. If the right doors keep opening, there's no reason he can't test everyone in the weight class and potentially separate himself from the pack at the very top.
That I sent somebody to steal his passport, replicate his job, all types of weird stuff.
He called me earlier. It's like, yo, when you spar, I'm gonna come to the gym. I'm like, I'm gonna spar at 4 o'clock. I really didn't think he was gonna pull up, but he pulled up. It means everything, his advice and listening to him in the ring. He calling out little shit. I'm trying to make sure I do what he says. So a hell of a blessing to have Bud, Floyd, all these guys backing me, and I appreciate it. I'm just trying to keep pushing and keep getting.
Right now, Shakur is deep in camp alongside Terence Crawford at D1 training in Colorado Springs. That's the same high-performance environment where Crawford prepared for his own clash with Canelo, which immediately adds weight to this preparation. This isn't casual work or surface-level drills. The focus is on sharp decision-making, timing under pressure, efficient positioning, and mental clarity, pushed relentlessly through demanding rounds.
I hurt my hand. I was hurting it all throughout the camp.
I was feeling good.
I felt it just now. But I was trying to ignore the pain and keep it going, but it just got worse to the point where I couldn't really take it no more. I kind of felt it after my last fight. I'm like, man, just ignore it because you're going to have to keep ignoring it every time you fight. You don't realize it until it gets like to the point where you just can't take it no more. That video, even that video that got out of me like hitting somebody with a body shot, I fell. I've been hitting it constantly over and over and over. I felt the pain badly that last time to where like I couldn't take it no more.
Working with Terence Crawford means being exposed to real intensity and constant problem solving, not rehearsed scenarios. Every session demands adjustments, patience, and precision. The likely emphasis is staying calm when things heat up, laying traps with purpose, and punishing mistakes without burning unnecessary energy. More than anything, this choice reflects Shakur's mindset. You don't seek out Crawford unless you're ready to be challenged, corrected, and stretched far past what feels comfortable.
My road,
It's right here. You fucking up. Give him a shot.
Training in an environment built on championship standards and zero excuses does more than refine technique. It sharpens emotional control. Against a fighter like Teófimo López, who thrives in disorder and explosive exchanges, Shakur appears to be calibrating himself for steady, calculated execution when the pressure rises. This camp feels intentional and quietly threatening. It's the type of preparation that doesn't scream for attention early, but makes its presence felt when it counts. And just when it seems like sparring with Crawford in Colorado is already the peak of intensity, Keyshawn Davis enters the conversation with one of the most thoughtful and composed breakdowns so far. There's no hype, no chasing clicks. He sounds like someone who's lived the grind with both men, essentially saying, "Stay calm. This fight will unfold before it detonates."
At the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is eventually going to start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, you know, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for that to be his brother.
I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be closer than people think.
That perspective carries weight, because when Keyshawn talks about the bout starting at a steady tempo before Teófimo ramps things up, it's rooted in first-hand experience. There's honesty in how he frames it, no fake disrespect, no denial of talent on either side. He openly admits Teófimo is dangerous, and pretending otherwise would be disingenuous. Still, he doesn't dodge making a prediction. He slightly leans toward Shakur on the scorecards, but the margin is thinner than most people assume. That's the key, tight. Not a walkover, not a viral meltdown, but a real fight where momentum shifts and both men are forced to answer difficult questions.
Very good.
Hey, one thing I can say though, because I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Teo can fight.
I'm telling you that. Teo can fight.
Winning back
If
then.
you said he couldn't, you'd be lying.
Right.
Of course.
That's a real assessment, though. I think Shakur still wins, but it's gonna be closer than what people think.
Teo is
nice.
a lot, man, no doubt.
Yeah, and Keyshawn, speaking of Teo, you know, you've been vocal about your desire to fight Teofimo Lopez. And of course, I was there in Las Vegas, right, when you FaceTime Teo. Now Teo's fighting Shakur Stevenson, but do we see Keyshawn and Teo at some point?
How was Teo acting when I FaceTimed him? Since you brought it up, how was he acting?
You tell me. You tell the people.
Why do I gotta tell you? What you asked me again? Because I want to answer that. What'd you say?
Yo, do we see you and Teo fight in the future?
Depending on what Shakur do with him.
Hey, losing to Shakur though.
What's most impressive is how Keyshawn separates friendship from reality. He acknowledges Shakur's support during tough times, but once the bell rings, emotion fades and clear analysis takes over. That kind of balance is rare. There's no exaggerated language and no attempt to bury anyone's future. He simplifies it to one core factor: how energy gets spent and when it starts to fade. And honestly, that may be the most grounded take yet. This fight isn't about destroying a career. It's about shaping one. We're not watching someone fall apart. We're watching two trajectories collide. And for anyone expecting an easy outcome, Keyshawn's message is simple: lower the volume and pay attention.
Depends how bad he loses.
That's about
So you think it's going to be bad?
Let's say he loses a competitive fight.
Yeah,
I think that would be the most common answer is Shakur outpoints him in a very competitive fight. What then? What then for you and Teo?
For the businessman, huh?
All right, cool. Since you worded it like that, I don't, because I won't go say that shit. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the future holds. I just know what I want to do, and I want to go to 147 and become a champion. Because I just feel like them guys just can't beat me from 140 to 147. And I just feel like, you know, I'm a surprise the boxing world. I'm small. I just moved to 140, and I'm gonna be fighting guys naturally bigger than me, and I'm gonna be stopping them. knocking them out.
I remember.
And that's gonna be very interesting.
After Keyshawn delivers that calm, experience-driven outlook, the conversation naturally deepens when Teddy Atlas steps in. When Teddy talks, it's never filler. It's insight earned through years in the sport. The tone immediately shifts to something more serious. There's no chasing trends or viral soundbites, just genuine respect for two fighters willing to accept real risk. Teddy also shuts down an old narrative right away. Claims that either Teofimo Lopez or Shakur Stevenson avoids challenges don't survive this matchup. This fight alone ends that argument on the spot.
I want to piggyback a little bit off of what you just said. I want to start by just giving them credit. You know, a lot of these guys avoid certain fights. They're not avoiding them right now. You got to give them credit. A lot of people took shots at Shakur, you know, and Teofimo at certain spots. He's avoiding this guy. He's avoiding that guy. You can't take those shots at these two guys. Definitely can't now. They are stepping up and they are taking fights that a lot of people are probably surprised they took. Now, a lot of people will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, you know, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet side.
The honesty about styles is refreshing. This may not be a non-stop brawl, but it promises high-level boxing, ring control, timing, and tactical discipline. Teddy points out how important it is for Shakur to be comfortable stepping inside, because against Teofimo, staying purely on the outside isn't protection. At the same time, Teofimo's power remains the unpredictable factor that can flip the script in a heartbeat. Athletic movement versus explosive force, skill meeting skill. This is the kind of fight where a single decision can alter everything. For fans who truly appreciate boxing, that's what makes it special.
Teofimo showed you that he can fight inside, he can fight outside. He would have the advantage of power in this fight. You know one thing that I love about this fight, Bud? Shakur's very athletic, very talented. So is Teofimo. He's more explosive with power, but Teofimo is very athletic. He is very talented. You got two athletic guys, two talented guys. Again, Teofimo I would favor with the power. This is going to be interesting. I'll tell you, it's a lot to like about these two athletic, talented.
After Teddy Atlas delivers his methodical, professor-style breakdown, the energy shifts when Timothy Bradley Jr. joins the discussion. Tim doesn't analyze fights from a distance. He speaks like someone who's lived the consequences inside the ring. Listening to him, it feels less like promotion and more like a warning. He's essentially saying that anyone watching this fight casually, even analysts, will miss the real story. This isn't a quick knockout hunt. It's a strategic battle where positioning, patience, and inches matter. I like how he frames it, structure versus explosion. Shakur Stevenson treats defense like a vault, opening it only on his terms. Teófimo López, meanwhile, can turn a quiet moment into danger without notice. Bradley's message is clear. If you don't value timing, setups, and subtle shifts, you'll label this fight boring and expose your lack of understanding. This is boxing made for people who actually watch closely.
Go for everybody that's going to be calling this fight, because there's every offense that, or every type of any offense that's going to be landed, it's going to have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bringing to the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm gonna get mine when I get mine, and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting.
This is where Tim really stands out, calmly dismantling the lazy claim that Shakur lacks power. He doesn't raise his voice, he just lays out reality. Power isn't only about strength, it's about placement, timing, and catching someone unprepared. That's advanced boxing. His examples aren't random. Uncontrolled explosiveness gets punished, and disciplined technique without awareness eventually cracks. If Teofimo charges in recklessly, he may be forced to reset sooner than expected. But if Shakur mistakes control for safety, that's when danger sneaks in. What stands out most is how Tim frames this as a fight that rewards intelligence. Nothing comes free. Every shot has to be built, disguised, and earned. That's the appeal. This isn't about punch volume. It's about who understands the moment better when it counts. Stay focused, and the fight feels layered and tense. Look away, and you'll miss how one brief exchange can swing an entire round.
Look, y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This is going to be one hell of a technical battle that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this battle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because what y'all going to witness is, I'm going to tell you right now what you're going to witness. You're going to witness fundamentals, great fundamentals, versus that explosive stuff. You know what I'm saying? That explosive stuff. So like, let me give you a prime example. Not to this degree, but Tonio Tarver, Roy Jones. Tarver had them fundamentals down. Roy didn't.
Here's my honest read, no sugarcoating. I see this fight opening exactly how Shakur prefers, clean angles, controlled space, and Teofimo having to work for every inch like it's rented territory. Shakur likely banks the early rounds with precision, making it feel like he's dictating the pace. But it doesn't stay simple. This isn't a 12-round classroom session. Somewhere in the middle, Teofimo's timing starts to lock in. His reactions sharpen, and those sudden bursts stop being guesses and start sending messages. He won't dominate full rounds, he'll steal moments, and moments matter when judges are human. I don't see a runaway performance or chaos taking over. I see tension. I see Shakur making smart adjustments, but also being pushed harder than he'd like, especially late. I still lean toward Shakur by close decision, not because he overwhelms, but because his discipline survives the storm just long enough. And if fans leave arguing over rounds and splitting scorecards, that's not controversy. That's proof this fight delivered exactly what real boxing looks like.
I understand what happened. Now, look, if Teofimo Lopez, he get out of line and he want to run in there that fire and he get his behind caught, just like Norman Jr. got his behind caught, talking about, oh, he can't punch. Oh, he can find himself picking himself off of the canvas too. Yeah, talking about Shakur can't punch. I don't see many guys just running there on Shakur. But anyways, look, y'all already know what it is. Precision, timing, right? Hitting a dude when he don't see something coming. That's...
Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. Tell me how you think this fight plays out, who takes control, who feels pressure first, and why. I want real boxing takes, not just scorecard watching, because this is the kind of matchup that deserves real discussion. And if you're enjoying the breakdowns, reactions, and honest fight talk, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. Your support keeps this moving and lets us keep doing it the right way. We're locked in all the way to fight night, so stay tuned.